Hey Smoothers, it's Cam, and today on Nobody Asked, we're going to figure out if you can beat Mario 64 without taking a step. To add to this challenge, I have never beat Mario 64 in my life. I played it when I was a kid, but quite honestly, I sucked. Don't know if I ever even beat Bowser. So I'm not sure if this is possible. I'm definitely underqualified, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyways, and we'll just see how it goes. After starting the game, I jump my way over to the bridge, where we get this little cutscene. After that, I jump my way over to the door, and the runs failed, actually. There's no way to enter the door without walking. So anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Just kidding. Instead, we'll change the rulebook so that it doesn't count if I'm in an animation such as opening a door or cutscenes. Moving on, I jump my way into the first painting/level, Bomb-omb Battlefield. The main star you get in this level is from reaching the top of the mountain and throwing the bomb around a little bit. With the normal movement in this game, reaching the top of the mountain is actually no problem. Pretty easy, especially with the dives and long jumps. But when you're not allowed to walk and backflipping is your most efficient way of traveling, practically everything becomes a bigger threat. My main issue as I tried to get to the top of the mountain was the chain chomp. Because I'm so slow doing my backflips, he absolutely rocked me, sent me over the edge, forcing me to jump all the way back around. The trick I found with getting past him was the timing. For some reason, if you're in the air, he's just like less likely to hit you. You kind of just phase through him. So from here on, the chain chomp wasn't really a problem. Moving past that, I started making my way up the mountain and was almost to the top when I accidentally took a step. So for this challenge, every time I take a step, I have to instantly exit the level or end myself. I mean, the result is the exact same. On my second attempt, I made it to the top of the mountain where we had the most intense wrestling match I've ever had in my life. Luckily, Mario's crawling speed is just slightly faster than King Bomb-omb's walking speed. So eventually I did catch up to King Bomb-omb, grabbed a hold of his rock-solid buns, and bowled him across the top of the mountain. After a few throws, he was fully satisfied, blew up, and gave me our first star. After saving, I instantly jumped back into the painting to try and get our second star. For this one, we have to race Koopa the Quick up the mountain, and if we beat him, he'll give us a star. I came in with a plan. I knew I wanted to use these cannons in order to beat him to the top, but that's where we ran into our second obstacle. When you cannot run, these stupid cannonballs being fired from the mountain become a way bigger deal than you would think. When I was trying to position myself to jump into this one cannon, you have to be very precise on where you are for the backflip to actually reach the top without you sliding back down. While trying to line myself up, these cannonballs were messing my day up. I don't even know, are they cannons or are they bubbles? I don't understand. After finally getting into this cannon and shooting my way up to the flying island, I then got in the cannon on the flying island and lined up the shot to finish this race. Yeah, I completely failed. But before I reset, I decided to collect some coins, so I was at full health to try again. So here we go, second attempt, I got this. I shoot myself over to the next cannon, get messed up by the bubble cannonballs, but that's okay. Eventually we make it into the cannon and shoot our way to the top of the mountain. Just kidding, we missed. That's okay, we got this, we can still win. Okay, never mind, he's already at the top. Oh no, I'll just crawl my way. Okay, so that attempt was way worse, but I feel like we learned some stuff. Third attempt, we actually did make it to the top of the mountain. But that doesn't matter because this piece of garbage has the audacity to say we cheated. Last time I checked, this dude ran up a slope that we cannot, so you tell me who's cheating. After wasting a lot of time with this dope, I decided to go get a star I knew I could actually get without walking. And that's the one star on the top floor through the peach window, where the whole thing is just a slide. This made me feel better. After this, I went and unlocked the door to Womp's fortress, and in this level, we were able to get quite a few stars. Starting with the first one where you have to murder this living brick, it was actually pretty easy once I realized if you jump at the right time, you'll just phase through him and end up on top of him. I mean, I wasn't perfect at the timing, I was one face sitting away from death, but we got it, it's all good. That is our third star, but we aren't stopping there. Back into the painting, we climbed all the way back up the fortress to get this other star. Back in again, that's when we unlocked the owl. This owl made moving around the map much easier, absolutely no walking necessary. This owl helped me get the 1 star in the cage, which is probably the easiest star I'll ever get in this game. But when I went back in and tried to use the owl again to get the next star, before we were at the right height for me to enter this little area, the owl said I was eating too much pasta, called me fat, and then yeeted me off the world, killing me. What the fuck? Although the owl was completely out of line saying this, he wasn't entirely wrong. Mario does have a fat dumpy in this game. Ooh-wee! When I went back into the level to confront this snake, he pretended to not even know who I was. I was shook. But I still need him, so I took another ride, this time hopping off at this cannon and using the cannon to get into the area and get my next star. After that, I went back in, used the snake in the tree again to fly me to the top so I could collect all 8 red coins. This took me a few attempts after some dumb deaths, but eventually I did get them all. After that, I went back in, but this is where I got stuck. I have no idea how you get this star. The only hint is it's called Blast Away the Wall. Out of just being stubborn, I did not look up how to get this star, and eventually I just gave up. With my 7 stars, I had way more than enough to open another door leading into Cool Mountain. Obviously, the first star I got in this one is the super easy one, where you go in the chimney and then take the slide down. The next star I went after was the star you get for saving this baby penguin at the top of the mountain and delivering them to the bottom. That normally would seem like an easy task, but it becomes a lot harder when this penguin's a little piece of ravioli and he just tries to walk away from you, even though it's in his best interest to just not. This penguin had like superpowers, could climb up walls that I had no way of getting to him, would walk down slopes that I could not handle. Eventually, when I slid down and would get to this one bridge, he was definitely not a help to me at all. Hey little Timmy, come here. Come here, little Timmy. Holy fuck! Eventually, I learned that the best strategy is to slide down the mountain going forward, because if you go backwards and jump, then you lose the penguin. If you're going forwards, you can make this jump to the right and then jump off the cliff right down to where the mom is. After saving, I jumped back into the painting and decided to take little Timmy down the chimney to go on the slide with me. I accidentally dropped him in first, and when I finally managed to make my way in, little Timmy had aged 20 years and was challenging me to a race. Mario, being the alpha he is, would not turn down such a challenge, and absolutely destroyed him in the race after a couple attempts. Next up, we had the star for this level where you have to collect all the red coins. I went through attempting to collect them all. Once I got to the bottom, I realized I had to go back up to get more of them. So I talked to this pink bomb on this floating island. After he opened up the cannon, I realized I don't know how to get back. This sign said there was a gust of winds, so I jumped off the tree in a leap of faith and died. This is when I decided to use the ace up my sleeve and go unlock the door to Jolly Roger Bay. I knew this level was going to be really easy because the majority of it you're swimming around. For the first star, I swam to the cave and figured out the combination to open up these chests. Next, I entered the ship, emptied it of water, and climbed up to the top to get my second star of this level. After that, I jumped up into the hole in the wall to get one of the castle's secret stars, which is just a room where you swim around. It's not possible to walk. After that, I went back into Jolly Roger Bay and killed myself on the eel. Okay, I reset, went back in, and got the star attached to the eel's tail. Now I was going to try and collect all the red coins to get another star in this level. After many attempts to get onto the ship where there are 3 red coins, by doing it the proper way where you run across these timed platforms, eventually I gave up and decided to use the cannon, which is way smarter. But in doing this, I accidentally launched myself onto this spiky rock and jumped over onto this platform where there was a star inside this box. I had no idea this was here. Anyways, after that, I did go back, collected all the red coins, and got my 16th star. I think I'm doing pretty good. I did go back and tried to figure out how to get the star in this jet stream. I found a shell, tried to use it, but it runs out way too fast. So I have no idea how to get the star, and I just gave up and left. As you can see, my inexperience with this game is coming back to hurt me. I don't want to look up anything of how you get stars in this game, because I feel like that would just not make it as fun. However, if I do accidentally somehow read a comment that is pointing me in the right direction, I won't be upset. Accepting defeat, I went back to the winter map to try and collect all the red coins. I had collected all of them but one and was searching around for the last one when I found myself down a rabbit hole where I had to decide whether to keep on going or to turn back and try to find the 8th coin. So after you go down this path, you get to a point where you have to do a lot of like the parkour tricks in the game to make your way up to the star. The problem is you need to walk and move a lot of times in order to do these types of tricks, such as wall jumps, but I was not going to let that stop me. After doing some backflips to make my way up to the last jump, it seemed like there was no way to actually make it up without doing a wall jump, which you can't do without running. Or so I thought. I'm not sure if I made up a new movement technique. It's possible, I don't know. I don't think it's a useful movement technique, but anyways, I found out you can backflip into a wall jump. If you're facing a wall and then do a backflip and then push your joystick so you move towards the wall, you can do a wall jump off of it. It's really hard. I struggled with it for a while, but eventually I did make it to the top, and then I took a step. So I went back at it. I was determined at this point. I knew I could get this star, and after many attempts, I think Mario was losing weight, because eventually we did get it. Once I was up top, I started crawling because I did not want to take a single step. We grabbed that star, and now we're sitting at 17. Now to finally take on Bowser. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been procrastinating this moment. You do not need to get 17 stars before you can go fight Bowser. I really just did not want to try it, but I remembered what I was doing this for. The love of my life, Peach's cake. So I ate some more pasta, took a nap, and then fell in the floor. Alright, here we go, I got this. After starting off on this weird Lego piece, I did some backflips, jumped the fire, burnt my mustache off, barely surviving, and then I jumped off the map. And I killed myself. This time I played it a lot more careful, slowly and meticulously making my way to the top. After getting past these electric black balls, I met my match, SpongeBob. I easily made it onto the first one, got to the middle platform, but as I tried to make it across the second one, I missed the jump, and that was game over. I did my best, and this challenge is over. Just kidding, this is not the first time I got game over. I don't know if you realize how many times I died doing this. Game over means nothing. We keep going. I'm not gonna leave the video off like this. So I restarted, made my way back to the level, but this time I focused. I got past SpongeBob and was onto these moving platforms. Everything was going good until I tried to exit the platforms. I was about a pixel away from dying. I clenched my butthole, tried to jump off of it, and in a panic I kicked, which ended up saving my life. Past this, we get to these teetering platforms, and I got past them just the way the game developers intended me to. If any of you say this is cheating, you're wrong. Why would they put a platform right here if they didn't want me to crawl across it? Just saying. After that, it was pretty simple. You press this button which creates some stairs that you can just jump up. No walking needed. Now we go down the pipe and we're at Bowser. So, remember I said I never beat this game as a kid? Well, I mean that. I never even beat this boss fight with Bowser. My cousin always did it. He was the one who owned the game, so I barely played, but I was definitely not good enough to do this boss fight, so going into this, I was a little nervous as to how hard it was. Once I was in the fight, I had no idea what to expect. I didn't even remember what his attacks were, but mainly he just breathes fire and then does a ground pound that does a shockwave. Both of these, jumping is the way to dodge it, so this challenge is looking pretty good. If only my timing was a little better. In this first attempt, Bowser really messed up my day, and in the end he set my juicy butt on fire, which made me take a step. Luckily, it also killed me, and on the bright side, when you die, you actually are just sent right outside the pipe, so I could just jump right back in. With all my newfound knowledge, I realized I should lure Bowser over to a bomb before I start grabbing him. And this made the boss fight way easier. All I did was backflip when he was about to breathe fire, grab his tail, and throw him into the bomb. Heck yeah, we have the key now, and we can move on throughout the rest of the game. If this video gets 20 likes, I will continue doing this challenge, and if you enjoy this kind of content, think about subscribing. It really helps us out a lot, and plus if we do get popular, you can say you were an OG. But anyways, have a good one.